Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Mind your business. Only on Money FM 89.3.
Welcome to Mind Your Business. I am Ahmad Akhtar. Now, as we mark its 60th year of independence, 2025 has become more than just a milestone for Singapore. It's a moment to reflect, give back, and look ahead. In this spirit of national celebration and community solidarity, a special initiative is bringing our hearts together. For the very first time, AMP, Singapore and Berita Harian are joining forces to host a unique charity golf and dinner event with over 140 players teeing off and 200 guests expected at the dinner. And at the heart of this initiative is AMP Singapore, an organization that for over 3 decades has been a cornerstone of empowerment for the Malay Muslim community. And today we're joined by the man leading that mission forward. So without further ado, let's welcome him to the show. He's here with us in the studio. He's the executive director of AMP. His name is Mokhsin Mohd Rashid. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Imad. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Now, before we get into the details of this rather special charity event that you have been involved in, just a little bit about yourself and your role in the non-profit sector. So you became executive director of AMP Singapore in 2021 at
Correct.
Just the tender age of 36, the youngest in its history. So congratulations on that front. But I'm interested to know how your more than a decade of experience working in the non-profit sector, including co-founding and subsequently heading non-profit youth organization Majulah Community, has shaped your leadership approach.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. Well, maybe I'll go a bit further back.
Sure.
Right, in my experience, I kind of started off with social enterprise, and it's a small, medium enterprise. They had to bootstrap, right? And the founder gave me an opportunity to experience the different aspects of the business. So I kind of started off there in terms of understanding the various breadth and depth of the running an organization. And I think some of the leadership opportunities arise from that opportunity. And hence, I think fast forward 2021, I was given this opportunity to take on the leadership role at this organization. Hence, I would kind of bring it back to my mentors in those days.
For the less informed, can you share with us what it is that you currently do at AMP Singapore and how you are addressing societal issues here?
So on a day-to-day basis, I manage a team who works a lot on the ground and then with individuals and particularly underprivileged families, right? So what we do is we run specific programs like giving out bursaries, working with families who are deep in poverty to some extent. And hopefully that the children can help the family get out of the situation through education, tuition, and also providing some financial support in regards to transport money and so on.
Yeah, it's a great initiative. Now, let's move on to the event in conjunction with SG60. It was recently announced that AMP and Berita Harian are collaborating for the very first time on a charity golf event. And through this event, you're hoping to raise a total of $300,000 through corporate sponsors, donations, and the sale of golf flights, which involve a team of 4 players, if that's right.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit, Mokhsin, about the AMP charity golf event. Why should corporates take notice of this?
So in conjunction with SG60, although you see the mission of the organization is particularly for the Malay Muslim community, we are partnering with the larger Singapore society and particularly the Singapore Children's Society, who deals with children and also families. So we hope that this amount that we have raised, we are able to share it with not just from a particular community, but also to the larger Singapore society. So I think that is a starting point, to illustrate that, well, as part of Singapore, we do service the larger Singapore society.
I forgot to mention, I probably should have contextualized by saying that set to be held on the 22nd of July at Orchid Country Club. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. What is AMP doing differently in terms of social impact and financial accountability then?
So AMP, we are a registered charity with IPC status, which means that it is tax deductible. What it also means is that we go through quite a stringent governance and also financial accountability. We have received the Charity Transparency Award for a number of years now, and I think that would position us as a credible organization to work with. So over and on top of just financial accountability bit, we work very strongly in the space of impact measurement, and we are very much outcome driven as well, and in a hope that the families that we work with are better off after their service with us and the partners that we work with.
Okay, circling back to the event, the funds that are going to be raised from the event, how are they going to be used and what impact do you hope they'll have on AMP services?
So first and foremost, the funds will be distributed into 3 categories. So 50% of the funds will go to AMP run programs and for the beneficiaries. The other 40% will go to Singapore Children's Society and their beneficiaries. And the other 10% will be going to educational scholarship that BH or Berita Harian have identified 1 or 2 scholars for their education bursaries.
Okay. Yeah. And in terms of returns, what kind of returns can donors or sponsors expect beyond just the financial ones?
I think definitely working with media, so there's definitely brand exposure, number 1. Number 2, an opportunity, should they take up the flight, right, to come for an event to network with business partners. And of course, number 3 is that they are able to then be part of this legacy of helping families to get out from the difficult situations they are in today.
Now, this event is obviously a big feather in the cap for AMP Singapore, but curious to know whether it's just a one-off or is it part of a larger giving strategy in the longer term?
Yeah. So we take this as part of the larger strategy of work that we do at AMP. So throughout the year, we do run other fundraising programs to support the large programs or beneficiaries that we are serving. So this is definitely one part, small but critical part in the work that we do.
And do you plan similar such events in the coming years?
For sure. I think with BH, this is the first initiative, but we are always open to collaborate and also to see where other corporate sponsors or even companies who want to work on their corporate social responsibility with us. Yeah.
Curious to know why golf was the chosen sport as opposed to something else, for example.
Oh, good question, Ahmad. Well, we were first introduced by a group of golfers to say that, hey, we have kind of organized this in the past and we'd like to do something in conjunction of SG60. So this group of kind golfers came together and say this is something that we can volunteer our time and providing their expertise. So they say, why don't we come together and work on this event? So I think we've got a lot to thank our volunteer golfers who are very experienced in organizing such events to want to work with us.
So what can participants expect from the experience and how can they get involved? I'm referring, of course, to both golfers and dinner guests.
Right. So, there's a series of sponsorship packages that our sponsors are able to pick from. So the sponsorship ranges from any amount of dollars up to $60,000, so depending on the tier package that they would prefer. So I think that's number 1. Number 2, of course, as an individual person, if you want to just participate in the dinner, you can sponsor or donate about $500 per person for that package.
And what makes this event even more special is that it is happening a day after Racial Harmony Day, which falls on the 21st of July. That was obviously a deliberate ploy, right? Explain the significance of that.
Yeah, of course. For sure. Of course, it was also a lot dependent on the availability of the Orchid Country Club. But I think the stars were aligned for us. So kind of we say, hey, I think this is a good day. Let's come together and kind of organize this around this. And the intention has always been about Singapore. And I think we wanted to go down that route. And I think the days were aligned together.
Yeah, especially because as you mentioned earlier, the beneficiaries are not limited to the Malay Muslim community.
That's correct.
I believe also, there will be some VIPs for the event. Would you kindly name drop who will be showing up?
Sure. The one that will tee off the program will be our Senior Minister of State, Mr. Zaki Mohamad. And our guest of honor for the dinner will be Madam Halimah Yaakob, our former president.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, well, all the very best. I hope that it works out well. It's a fantastic initiative. It's going to be held on the 22nd of July at Orchid Country Club. And it is a collaboration between AMP Singapore and Berita Harian. They're collaborating for the very first time on a charity golf event. You're hoping to raise $300,000 through corporate sponsors, donations, and the sale of golf flights. I hope it goes smoothly. Thank you so much for joining us on the show to tell us all about it.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. That was Mokhsin Mohd Rashid, Executive Director of AMP Singapore, and you are listening to Money FM 89.3.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.